Today I'm showing you a brand new fabric collection that comes out late November. This is a 20-piece fabric collection and it's called Hope and Feathers, and it is all Emily Dickinson poetry. So let's have a look at it.
All right, so this is the main print. This one is called Saying Nothing, and this is the antique colorway, and this is the lilac colorway, and it is a massive, pretty big bouquet print. So I would say every bit of 7 to 8 inches. It's a bigger print. So pretty though. I am like loving all the little daisies and the roses, and yeah, so that is the main print of the collection, and each of these fabrics is named after lines within Emily Dickinson poems. This one's called Saying Nothing. Okay, this one is called Little Time, and this is creamy, and this is terracotta. There's a lot of watercoloring in this collection. Actually, I think it might be almost completely watercolors, but these are just different little flower specimens. I love these colors, and this one, I think it might be the first fabric I even made, was this one here in this colorway. But that is Little Time. So pretty. I am really excited to start sewing with these. All right, this one is called Perched in the Soul. If you know Emily's poem, Hope is a Thing with Feathers, that is the words that is on this print. You can barely read it, but if you look really closely or have a magnifying glass, you can tell it. This is the crepe colorway, and this is gardenia. And again, the birds are all watercolory. All right, these are called Life So Sweet. This is the Rosebud colorway, and this is the Jovial colorway. And let me give you an up close at the birds and the flowers. Here's the other one. So we've got some, pops of lilac within this collection. It's not, like Wholehearted, where it was like overwhelmingly very violet and lavender and stuff. This one has just really slight pops of it, and I've gone very bright and happy with the colors in this collection. That one was Life So Sweet. This print is called Composed of Nails. This is the ginger, and this is the primrose, and this is probably one of my favorites in the collection. And it's just a single daisy. And this is another pop of that lavender lilac. That's what it looks like opened up. I would probably consider this a blender. This print is called Looking for Myself. This is the Seashell colorway, and this is the Sun Glow colorway. And this one really ties in those oranges, corals, and the pops of lavender. Here's the Sun Glow, and you've got this very bright yellow. There's not a fabric that is very bright like that, but there's lots of pops of this bright yellow in the collection. But this again is a watercolor, and we went to Paris this past spring, and I found a lot of tile work and things like that, and that was kind of where I got the idea for these prints. There's a couple of them, but again, very watercolory. Yeah, I really am excited about this print. I think it creates, a texture. So that is Looking for Myself. This one is called Open Every Door, and this is the plum color. This is only one of these in the collection, and this is again watercolor. This is the deepest color in the collection, and very, very berry, dark berry. I'm really a fan of this fabric, and this is kind of came to me from a watercolor class that I took last year. But that's open every door. This one is called Pardon My Sanity. This is the Sunflower colorway, and this is the Charisma colorway. This is again a nod to that poem, Hope is a Thing with Feathers. And there are those feathers. This is a blender. You could also fussy cut this one. It would be interesting to see this one fussy cut. But that is Pardon My Sanity. This print is called Wild Nights. This is the Macaron color palette, and this is the Apricot color palette. But I really like this. This print is pretty much a quilt pattern that I have coming later on. But I've always obsessed with stars. I think I had stars in almost every collection I've created so far. So yeah, this is another blender, a geometric, and this would be really fun to fussy cut, particularly in a star quilt pattern. All right, so that is Wild Nights. This one is called Garden Walk in Gulf White. This is again a kind of a little bit of a print that was inspired from my trip to Paris. I really like this, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the watercolor creates so much depth in the print. I think watercolors are going to be my new favorite thing. So here it is opened up, but this is just, a geometric blender print, low volume. This print is called All Waves Settle, and this is the last print. It's a blender. This is the Cider colorway, and this is French Blush. This color came to me when, like I said, we were in Paris, and this was the wall color of our room. I became so obsessed with this shade. It's definitely pink, but it kind of lends itself a little bit to the, violet or lilac, lavenderish. I really like this fabric a lot. Geometric blender, easy to use. All right, here is everything light to dark. And I always like putting fabrics light to dark. I feel like it just really makes me feel more inspired to see colors, like to like. But anyway, this is the color palette that we're playing with. I'm going to show you mock-ups and everything in a minute so you can see what they look like in quilts. But this is what it looks like all together. I also made a pillow recently, or I'm in the middle of making a pillow, but here's some of those fabrics from the collection used, and I'm going to be making lots of quilts in this collection. There's several shades of white that I think look good with this Hope and Feathers, but this is pure in ginger, and it looks really good with them too. So that's what I used in this pillow. But there's those prints in use. I love seeing them used. So now let me show you the different ways that you can order Hope and Feathers.
Okay, so if you are wanting to purchase, you go to meanderandmake.com. You can come over here to the search bar and you can type in Hope and Feathers, or you can come to the fabric and hit the little drop down, and then you want to scroll to collections. And then when you get into collections, you want to look for Hope and Feathers, and they're alphabetized. So just scroll down to Hope and Feathers and give it a click. And then it's going to bring up everything we have for Hope and Feathers. If you are just wanting to grab yourself a bundle, find the bundle listing. It's right here. Well, it's right here. And here is the bundle, and you can choose fat quarter or half yard cuts and then click the pre-order. If you are wanting yardage for, if you just wanted a few yards, or if you're wanting like background or binding or something like that, you can click on the yardage listing. We pre-sell yardage in 1 yard increments. It'll be available in smaller sizes, you know, after it's in the shop, but during the pre-order, it's just 1 yard increments. This picture shows the whole collection, but if you come over here to these options and you click one of them, it shows you what that fabric looks like up close. And then, you know, you just click which fabric you're wanting. It changes the picture, coordinating with the name of the fabric, and that is how you would order. Okay, and then we have all of these kits we're selling, and then these mock-ups just really give you a good idea of what the collection looks like all together and looks like in a quilt. So I love all of this for knowing how your quilt is going to look before you start making it. So all of these kits are available. We have some new kits, like we have never made kits for Bohippian yet, but we have them now. And on Bohippian, you can choose, you know, which size you're wanting. It shows you what the quilt looks like. We have 2 versions, so 2 different fabric options. And if you're wanting to make the crib size, there's what it would look like. Here's what it looks like in the bigger size. And then we've got a version 2. There's what it looks like in the crib size, and there's what it looks like in the bigger size. So that's Bohippian, and then we've got some of our more popular kits like Soulshine and Sugar Bear. And in Soulshine, this price here is just for the foreground, so just the color parts of this quilt. But you have an option of adding your background, and you have all these different colors to choose from. So I think what it's showing here is in the bleached white, but if you hit pure haze background, you see what it looks like with that background. There's a slight delay when you click it. If you want to see it in poppy, there's what it looks like. If you want to see it in Kona Cream, there's what it looks like. And most of these kits have that option. There's only a few of them that don't. Like Trippy, it doesn't have a background option. Only the ones that have background options can change the color. On Fenvi, we have 2 different styles. We have a sunshine, and then we have a berry colored. So there's 2 options for colors in this kit, and there's also the version 1, which looks a little bit different than version 2. So you've got all these options. They all show you a different quilt. Just order which one that you want to make. All right, we have Mariposa for the first time. This is a quilt from my first book, A Life with Quilts, and here is what it has. All the same little features. You can choose your background, or you can just choose to get the foreground. I think we've got this one in 2 different colors too. So here is the pink version, and then here is the yellowy version. Lulu is always one of my favorites. I love this quilt pattern. I've made this quilt quite a bit, and it has the options to add that background as well. Let me see if I can get a really striking background. Oh, let's see it in Queen Bee. Boom, look how pretty. Oh my goodness. This collection is very pinky purple. I love how pink and bright and happy it is. Here is Inner Beauty. Inner Beauty is one of my more popular patterns, and it has, it doesn't have a background option, but it has, this kit comes with everything you need for that quilt top, and you see exactly what it's going to look like before you make it. So very handy feature. You can come here and you can look at all these different kits. Now let me say one more thing about the kits. They don't come with the pattern, so if you come down here to the description, you can read, you know, exactly what comes with the quilt, and it has a link, you know, for the pattern. So if you're going to order a kit for a pattern you don't have yet, don't forget to grab that. And a few of them that have fabrics that go in specific places, like this Morning Sun kit, it has a little look at the guide, but one of these will be packed with your kit if you order one where fabric goes in a specific place. I think that's true on Bohemian as well. We have these guides. One of these would come with the quilt. So that is it, and then you can just come here and see what the collection looks like if you wanted to. There you go. That's how to order fabric. And again, this fabric should be shipping at the end of November, and last day to pre-order to guarantee yourself a kit would be November 10th. After November 10th, we remove the kits from the shop, and we also remove that yardage listing. So that would disappear, and the only thing that would remain is the bundles, which we usually order a little bit more than we need. So those will last until they actually sell out, but these will only last until November 10th. So that is that. If you have any questions or anything like that, then leave them in the comments. I'm putting all the links and everything I discussed in this video right below, so you can just click that and come directly here if you want.